Hello and welcome back to another World of Warcraft TBC Classic Investments video. Today we'll talk about why it's still profitable to buy or invest for Classic WoW, TBC, and why it's not too late for you to invest into items for TBC and cash in on some nice profit. So first of all, Elixir of Demon Slaying, free action potions, living action potions and swiftness potions are used throughout the entirety of TBC and will be relevant for the entire expansion, and people cannot possibly stockpile enough of them unless they have several accounts with filled banks of these items. Invest in Elixir of Demon Slaying, free action potion, living action potion, or swiftness potions, and /or the materials needed to craft these consumables, and you will most definitely make a profitable return on your investment. One note is that a lot of people are investing in this, and will probably dump their stock early in TBC, so it might not be profitable at all for the first 6 months, but since they are used throughout the entire expansion, if you can keep them for later, you should see a decent return. Obviously, if everyone who invests also watch this video and switches their tactic around, so nobody dumps their stock early, you will make more profit by dumping early. The point is, these consumables are used throughout the entirety of the Burning Crusade, so if you don't make profit during the first couple of months, hold on to them and don't panic sell unless you see a profit you're happy with. It's all about finding out when other people are not dumping their stock, so you can dump yours. Next up is inflation. Gold is incredibly easy to obtain in TBC, even as a casual player, as you'll get tons of gold from quests, daily quests and dungeons. As more gold is circulating in the economy and the average player has more gold, prices will naturally go up. A lot of people might be dungeon leveling as well to do their quests at level 70, as that way quests will give you extra gold instead of experience, and this extra gold is actually quite valuable, and especially if you're a solo player, it can be quite decent gold per hour as well, and it's raw gold, so it's literally just pumping inflation into the economy. A lot of people that are investing in materials are actually investing for themselves and not intending to sell it. Several high-end guilds have stockpiled thousands of elixirs of demon slaying for their own needs and are not intending to sell for profit, but instead use it for themselves. This means that a lot of people that actually look like investors or gold makers are actually just hoarding for themselves, and there are less people investing for profit than you actually think, which means there will also be less competition for selling the items than you might think. For example, over the last 3 months the price of ghost mushrooms have gone up by 600%, as this is used to craft Elixir of Demon Slaying. Does this mean that everyone who has bought this are doing it with the intention of selling them later for profit? No, a lot of people will be using these for themselves, meaning that the supply will be super low later in TBC, and as the demand will always be there, the prices will go up even further at some point. A lot of people have either been out of the loop for a long time as they quit Classic early, or they didn't even play Classic at all. TBC will bring back a lot of players that previously quit, and it will also bring in completely new players, and many of these players will not have invested at all, and they are potential customers. Never underestimate how many people don't invest ahead of time, and also never underestimate how many new people a new expansion brings in. I like to compare this type of investment to something like Bitcoin or crypto. Some quote professionals claimed it would never go above 20k. I mean, some people even claimed it would never go above 5k, and now it's over 50k. And yeah, if people keep coming to the crypto market and new people learn about Bitcoin, the price will keep going up, and that's what's been happening lately. It's the same with TBC Investments, and just because something has gone up by 600% doesn't mean it won't go up by another 600%. Also, never underestimate how lazy some people can be. Investments are pretty much always about lazy people. Some people just don't bother investing at all and they take everything when it comes out. So instead of setting themselves up for the next phase, they just play the current phase and don't care anything about the next phase. And this is true for a lot of people. I actually did a similar test for phase 6 of Classic WoW myself, investing in several different materials needed in phase 6, as short as 2 weeks before Phase 6 launched, with the intention of testing in the market and seeing if investing late was worth it or not, as people claimed it was way too late to invest for Phase 6, even 2 months before it came out. When I invested, the prices of everything had more than quadrupled since the first time they said it wasn't worth it, but I still made profit, and I actually ended up doubling my gold even when I invested 2 weeks before Phase 6 came out. My strategy was to let everyone else dump their investments early, and when the supply dries up, I'll dump mine. Because the items needed for Phase 6 will be in demand for all of Phase 6, and as time goes on, people have more gold because of inflation, so I just held on to my items and I managed to double my gold. Now TBC doesn't have a release date yet, and best case scenario, it will be out in some months, so if I manage to double my gold by investing 2 weeks before Phase 6, I think you'll be fine by investing for TBC. Once again, it's all about knowing when to sell and not panicking, and knowing what's in demand and why it's in demand. Now Blizzard themselves have said that they are looking to make some changes for TBC itself, and we have already seen them making changes to the drums. So for example, investing in leather won't be as profitable as we originally thought, and something else might happen as well to make some other investments flop as well, and that is why I suggest you don't put all of your eggs into one basket, so you can invest into several different things, and instead of going all in on one investment, try to diversify as much as possible. Invest in some leather, sure, because leatherworking might still be good. Invest in some ores and bars for blacksmithing, jewel crafting and engineering. Invest in some classic herbs as well for alchemy. Invest in some cloth for tailoring. And basically just diversify your investments as much as possible. So if you're looking to invest in some classic WoW items to sell in TBC for profit, it's definitely not too late. It's just about knowing what's in demand and why it's in demand, as well as knowing when to sell. If you know something is in demand throughout the entire TBC expansion, you don't have to sell it in Phase 1, so there's no time crunch. However, if you know something is only in demand in Phase 1, you know you have to sell it during Phase 1, and you have a deadline for selling those items. Also, if you're looking for some advice on which items to invest in, I will leave links to both my TBC Investments videos in the description, as well as a pinned comment, as I've made 2 videos talking about which items you can invest in and most likely make profit with. And that is basically it for the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you have anything to add, leave a comment. And if you want more TBC Classic content, make sure you subscribe. And that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.